Hello, my friend, and welcome to the 384th episode of the Sales Podcast. I'm Wes Schaefer, the Sales Whisperer, your host. Today we have Mr. Ryan Cote. We're getting into the next phase of marketing. So, you know what? I think you're going to enjoy what the heck we talk about, especially when we talk about committing to multiple mailings to grow. Just published before him, Todd Hockenberry. Go back and check him out. I love his approach on inbound marketing, how to get people calling you. That helps you position yourself set yourself apart, right? From a position of strength. When they're contacting you, it helps you take control of the conversation. And that's what you need to do to accelerate your sales and grow your margins. All right. After this is Michael Greenberg. We talk about podcasting, why you need to start a podcast. So be sure to tune in to him when that one goes live. After this episode, I've been talking about a few things lately. My business coaching, sales coaching, CRM optimization, sales enablement, removing silos between sales and marketing. So if you need that kind of help, if your message has gotten cluttered, if you think you need more traffic, then we should talk, because you probably don't need more traffic. You need better conversions. And in my Make Every Sale program, I've always talked about to make any sale, you must make every sale. And what I mean by that is having a system and understanding how your email looks, the subject looks, your direct mail. What does the envelope say? How is it addressed? What's the opening line of the email, of the letter? How do you sound on voicemail? How do you sound in person when you actually meet someone face to face? Each one of those is a sale that has to be made to take it to the next step. It's just like dating. You meet someone, what's the next step? How do you say hello? When do you touch, right? Like shaking hands or just touching someone on the shoulder. Do you hug when you leave? All of those are little sales. How do you ask for their number? How do you confirm, that they want to hear from you again? Each of those are little sales. And working with prospects, it's a courtship, just like dating. Whoever tells you differently is wrong. So what are you doing? Do you have those steps mapped out? That's what I help people do. From sales, from marketing, with social media, direct mail, trade shows, webinars, whatever, help you get a clear message and optimize your conversions, because once your conversions are optimized, everything else gets easy. Once you've maximized the conversions and they're profitable, now you get more traffic. Now you invest in marketing and advertising because you know what the ROI will be. You're holding off on being aggressive with your marketing because you know deep down it won't convert the way that you need to, and you're afraid of losing money. So you're tiptoeing around the issue, and that's not good. So stop tiptoeing, dive in. Let's hit this issue head on and grow your sales. Just go to thesaleswhisperer.com, fill out the contact us. You'll get a link to my calendar. You'll get my phone number, and we'll talk. All right, we'll see if I can help you. Go check that out. Now, let's bring on our guest. Ryan Cote, all the way from Fairfield, New Jersey. And I hear you are a foosball 10-time champion. Welcome to the Sales Podcast, man. How the heck are you?
Thanks, Wes. Doing great. Yeah.
So what's up, man? Everywhere I look at your site, I look at Twitter, there's foosball. What's the deal, man? Is foosball the key to small business success?
It's the key to team bonding success. We play a lot of foosball here. There was a period where we were playing every single day at around 5 o'clock, and then it became a productivity killer. So we've scaled it back a little bit, but we still play a lot.
Well, at least you weren't playing like at noon and at 1 and at 2 or 3. At least 5 o'clock, that's all right.
Makes too much noise. You can't play that early.
I know.
The walls.
Very nice, man. So your business, so this is you're a third generation operator of a direct mail and digital marketing firm, right?
Correct.
And you actually hire family in your business. What the heck? We're always told don't do business with family. How are you making that work?
That's a good question. I get that asked. I get asked that a lot actually, because it is, family businesses. They can be either very good or very bad, and unfortunately, there's more bad stories than good stories. We go back, like you mentioned, 3 generations. Right now in the business, so my father retired 2 years ago. Right now in the business is myself, my two brothers, my uncle, my cousin, who joined 6 months ago, and his brother is interning for us over the summer. So how do we make it work? We all have our clearly defined roles. No one has an ego. We're pretty respectful to each other. Like, we may disagree, but we still have respect when we're disagreeing, and we all have our clearly defined roles. We're all good at different things, I guess, and so that's how we've made it work. It's not easy though. So it takes.
How do you know if somebody's good at something before you hire them? Like, what if you hire them and they're terrible? Have you ever had to fire family?
So family has not worked out in the past. So I wasn't part of I came on board 2003. So since then things have been fine, but we've had a couple of family members that haven't worked out. So yeah, my father had to fire a family member. So I haven't been exposed to that yet. Not hopefully we won't. But how do you know if someone's good at something? I mean, I guess I don't. I mean, I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, my youngest brother came on board 2014, but he had a job for like 10 years before. And so we already kind of knew what he was good at, because he was doing operations and finance for another company. So we
Right.
kind of knew that him coming into the company, he was gonna take my dad's role. That was my dad's strength that none of us are really good at. And so that was just a natural transition for him. Um, the rest of us just figured it out as we went on. But
So your younger brother, do you still give him wedgies like at company meetings, or do you wait until like after hours?
he's younger in age, but he's probably more mature than us. So yeah.
That's fine. That means you're giving wedgies. So I mean, come on, man. That's what little brothers are for.
Gotta try to loosen him up a little bit. Yeah, I think I gotta try to give him a wedgie, see how that would go. That would actually be pretty hilarious.
So I notice you lead with direct mail, right? Your website. I need help with direct mail. I need help with digital marketing. So, dude, I thought direct mail was dead.
Yeah, you always hear that. So direct mail is what we go back to from in the mid '60s. Obviously, digital wasn't around then. We still do a tremendous amount of direct mail. It's not dead. It's just changing. So back in like the '80s, '90s, we were doing all the printing for like Columbia House, AOL. We used to send out all those disc mailers. It was more of just a spray and pray, just hit everyone. Nowadays, the big volume campaigns, there's less of them, because the data is more targeted. So you can send out
Right.
smaller mailings to a more targeted list, and improve your chances of getting a healthy response rate. So it's definitely not dead. It's just changing. But that's like anything in business. Nothing stays the same, but definitely not dead.
So yeah, you talk about like the big firms, Columbia House and AOL,
Yep.
but what can small businesses do with direct mail? Because in my experience, they are greatly underutilizing direct mail. Or has that been your experience?
Yeah. So, and actually, this is an interesting question, because on the direct mail side at Ballantyne, yeah, our clients are very big, like BMW, Royal Caribbean. But on the digital side, we work with small businesses, contractors, manufacturers, professional service, et cetera. But we're starting to get more and more requests from our small business clients on the digital side to also do print, because they want to maximize their exposure. They want to take advantage of different channels. And so what we always recommend for small businesses, because print, it can get expensive when you factor in like the print, the mail, the postage. Postage is a huge chunk of the cost of the job. It can get expensive. So we always recommend doing postcards, not the small postcard, more like oversized postcards, 6 by 11, 6 by 9 in terms of inches. Those mail out at the normal postage rate, but you just get more real estate, and they're pretty cost effective to print and mail. So we always recommend to our small business clients, if you're gonna test direct mail, um, test a postcard, an oversized postcard, and also B, commit to multiple mailings, because you generally don't get something on the first mailing. It takes, like anything with digital, it takes repeated exposure to your target audience needs to keep on seeing your message. So we recommend usually a few mailings, commit to at least a few mailings.
And then since you've got the digital marketing side, do you help with design of the pieces? Because what I've seen quite often is, I mean, businesses, they're just terrible marketers. The graphics are terrible. The call to action is terrible. The landing page is terrible. I mean, the whole thing's terrible. And so, but you're in the direct mail business. You want them to keep coming back. You want them to have results, right? So how do you balance that? Somebody comes to you and they say, yeah, we have an idea. And you're like, yeah, your baby's ugly, right? That's basically what you got to tell them.
Yeah. So I know what you're saying. It is true. So we do the graphic design. Not always. Sometimes the client has their own copy and design team. So we're always upfront. If a client comes to us with an idea that we just don't think is going to work, we'll be upfront with them just to set the expectations that we don't think this is a great idea because of this. And sometimes they decide to do it regardless. But yeah, we try to set expectations for sure. We like to do the copy and design if we can, just so we can kind of control the whole process. But you do want to pay attention to the design, the offer, all of that is the copy. It all plays a role in the success of a campaign. So you want to make sure you're looking at each part of the mailing, from the design, what's the offer, what's the copy, am I paying a good price for the print and mail, who am I mailing to, what's the list, is it a customer file, or am I renting names? If I'm renting names, do I have the best names? So there's all these things you need to look at to have a successful campaign.
Right. So you mentioned starting with postcards. When do you switch to lumpy mail, right? Or when do you get into more intricate designs? Because there's pros and cons to everything, right? The nice thing with the postcard, bam, you hit them with the message right away, but they can also just throw it away.
Right.
Really fast versus like, what is this? Let me sit down at my desk, get my letter opener out, open this piece, and see what's going on. How do you judge when and where to start?
I mean, I think lumpy mail is a great idea. It also comes down to the lifetime value of your customer. So we've done lumpy mail projects for clients. They tend to be smaller in volume, so we're not exposed to them as much as other companies might be that do smaller volume campaigns. But we've done video mailers where we send out 100 folders that open up with a video playing. We've done campaigns where we send out boxes to doctors' offices, and inside is like pens and different premiums. So that it's a good way to get the attention of the prospect. Typically, they're smaller volume mailings. You're including different premiums in there, something that's going to get their attention. I look at lumpy mail as like a part of the process. Maybe a different step in the campaign. So you send out a postcard. You're taking that list and you're uploading it to Facebook as well. And so you're running ads to those people. And then maybe 2 weeks later, you hit them up with a lumpy mail. It just depends on what the customer value is to you. If the customer value to you is low, it might not make sense to do lumpy mail because they're expensive when you factor in the cost
Right.
of the premium and everything that goes into it. But I think it's smart if the value of a customer is high to you. I think lumpy mail is a very good way to just break their attention. Get their attention.
How do you break it down for a customer that just, for lack of a better term, is clueless, right? They're like, yeah, we heard about this direct mail stuff. We think we want to try it. And sending out one mediocre letter just isn't going to cut it, right? But it's revenue for you. So, when do you turn down business, right? Or risk losing the business by saying, I know you want to, basically, you want to come in and work out, right? But it's like, you need to join for a year to get benefit, to really get in shape, basically, right?
Yeah. I think it all comes down to setting expectations. That's something that we really try to focus on, especially on the digital side, because the digital it's a monthly engagement. There's a lot of communication with the client. It's like almost sometimes daily communication, definitely weekly. And so we always want to set the expectations that this is what we think is going to happen. This is how long we think it's going to take. This is what we need from you, because we're looking for a healthy client relationship. It's one thing to make the sale, but obviously you want that sale to go well because you want referrals. You want them to talk positively about you. So to me personally, even if you're in a situation where you need the business, taking a project that's just not a good fit, it may satisfy something short term, but long term you're just shooting yourself in the foot. And so we try to think long term. Same thing with mail. So if a client comes to us, especially like a small business, and they just want to do one postcard and they just praying that it's going to work. We'll just say it's not, and we just don't do it. So it's just really important setting those expectations and being honest with the potential client.
I mean, how many times when they come in and say, yeah, I want to do this quick mailing, how often are you able to get them thinking bigger picture and retain you for, or commit to 90 days or 6 months or even a year when they come in, showing up with a different mindset?
Yeah, we have a pretty good track record of it because we do print and digital, so we're able to kind of tie in the whole picture. So we'll say, okay, you're thinking about just doing a postcard, great, maybe lumpy mail if it makes sense, but also let's take that list, let's upload it to Facebook, and let's show ads to those people so they're getting your mail and then they're getting your ad in their feed. Do you have their emails? Great, let's also send them an email. And then, oh, by the way, did you think about the fact that when you send out this mail, you're most likely going to get more searches for your brand on Google. So let's run some pay-per-click campaigns or make sure that your site's optimized for, Google My Business. So we try to layer in all the different pieces to increase their results and give them bigger impact.
Right. But like they're showing up thinking they're going to spend $1,000 one time. And now they're like, oh, heck, I'm going to spend $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month for the next 6 months. I mean,
Right.
that's a big shift.
Yeah, I mean, it's educating them. It's educating the prospect on why they need to do it, showing them case studies, reviews from other clients, just trying to educate them on why they need it, what we think is going to happen, try to earn their trust. And if it's not a fit, it's not a fit. But we try to really educate. So we're like a sales organization, I guess, because that's we're a client business, so we have to get sales and keep the current clients happy. But the approach that we take. This is what works for us is more like an educational sales approach. So even down to like the proposals that we do for digital, this is more for digital now I'm speaking about, even the proposals we do for digital, they're very educational. We spend a lot of time on them. It could take us, a bunch of hours just for one proposal alone, just because every slide is, okay, we're going to do PPC for you. Well, here's what the ad might look like. Here's the keywords we're going to target. We try to really educate them on, here's our thinking. Here's why you need it. And for us, that educational sales approach, it works very well for us.
Right. And so, in this digital space, I mean, if somebody comes to you just digital, do you do just digital, or are you trying to educate them on the benefits? I'm always telling people multimedia, multi-step. Right. I'm sending a video email. If they buy one thing, I'll slip in a little bonus second thing, right? Or even if it's a big prospect, I mean, I'll mail them my book. I'll mail them things they're not expecting because people don't throw books away. Even if they don't read it, they don't throw them away.
Right.
So are you trying to get them to go full spectrum or just, hey, I need a Facebook campaign. Just do what I say?
Yeah, so I mean, the digital side of our business is only about 5 years old, so it's changed every year. If I look back, so we're in 2019. If I look back 18, 17, 16, it's evolved. Even the size of the team has grown, and our process, the types of clients that we take on. So it's been a need to, because prior to digital, I was just doing marketing for the company, and then now I'm in charge of the digital team, and it's been really neat to see the evolution of the team and the processes. So to answer your question, yes, we will take someone just for digital. Because right now it's really two different companies. On the print side, very large companies. On the digital side, small. So we do take on just digital. But right now we're looking for clients that want to use this for multiple services. If someone comes to us just for like pay-per-click, we might take it. But really, we want a client that's going to use it. I want multiple members of the team engaged with the client because we have different specialists for each service. So I want the PPC team hanging out with the SEO team, hanging out with the social team, and them all collaborating together. To me, it's better results for the client, and it's just the kind of work that we enjoy. I like the whole team. I don't want silos. I want everyone working together. Even the way we structure the office here, we've got I'm in my dad's old office here. That's because it's good for sound. But if I took you outside, you'd see we have a little pod of stand-up desks. So everyone works together, and they have the earbuds in if they want to concentrate, but I want everyone together and collaborating. So right. I don't know if I answered your question, but I think I did.
So how you say you want the teams working together. Who owns the relationship, right? If a lead comes in and it's digital,
Mm-hmm.
but then you cross sell them or just expand it into digital and print, is it whoever had the first point of contact, or do you have like strategic account people and they own the relationship and coordinate the teams, right? How do you balance that?
Yeah, good question. So I do sales. My cousin Josh does sales, and my brother Matt does sales. So I do sales for digital. Josh does sales for print and digital, and Matt does sales for print. So we have that hierarchy. We also have account managers here for both print and digital. So typically, the account manager is the point of contact for the client. Now, there's a team behind them, of course,
Sure.
and we do bi-weekly calls with the client, recurring meeting notice every 2 weeks, and sometimes the account manager will pull in different specialists based on what the agenda is, but the client has one point of contact. So the account manager really owns the relationship. And then of course I'll pop in from time to time, take the client out to lunch, check and make sure things are going well. I meet with the account managers every week to see how things are going with the clients, if there's any red flags or any wins that we should share with the team. So that's how we structure it. We have, sales, and the sales are broken down by the product, and then we have the account managers that own the relationship, and then me and my brother Matt will take the clients out to lunch and make sure things are going well. That's how we're structured now. If you ask me that question like in 3 years, maybe it could be different. Maybe it'll be different. The account manager role was actually we introduced that. That was something new in late 2017. So prior to that, it was just kind of like I don't even remember, honestly. I think it was just there was really no
Just
process.
running and gunning.
Sort of, yeah, yeah.
So you mentioned, take them out to lunch. Are you focused on local clients or do you have national clients?
We try to focus on local. I mean, we have some on the digital side. We have some that are like on the West Coast, for example, they're referrals. But in terms of like my effort, in terms of our marketing efforts, it's always local. We want to be able to take out clients. I mean, I just took out a client on Friday. They're in New Jersey like us, but they're 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes away. But still, we were able to take them out to lunch, and there was a new person on the team, and just breaking bread with them, that really helps a lot. So we try to really focus um, on local, even on the print side too. We try local if possible. I mean, there we go more national just because we're looking for big campaigns. And so if it has to be on the West Coast, we just, my uncle will go on the West Coast a lot because we have a fair amount of clients on the West Coast. So it depends on what business we're
Hey,
talking
why don't
about.
you stay on the East Coast, huh? Why you Jersey boys got to be like that, man? Just stay east of the Mississippi. How's that? All right. Why you got to be like
Right.
that, dude?
I don't know.
So with local, because I don't have the team that you have, and so I do a lot more consulting, right, and training, and I've always been hesitant to get local business because I don't want them picking my brain to death, right? This thing ain't big enough to be picked on all the time. How do you balance that, right? Because on the one hand, it's great to have that personal relationship. You can see each other, but then how do you balance expectations? I'm spending a lot of money, man. You should be over here. They're like, dude, we don't need to meet every day
Yeah.
to grow your business.
Yeah. And I feel like you're getting to my head right now because that's something that we've been thinking about a lot lately. So we
Okay, how
try,
about
because
this? I sell to Jersey, you sell to California. All right. And we just like vouch for each other and then we don't have to travel.
a good idea. I like
All
that.
right.
But we try to so there's a lot of digital agencies, and there's even a lot of print companies too, especially when you consider like printing plants, the actual plants that produce the printing. There's a lot of competition. So like what makes us different? Like we get results. Yeah, but everyone says they get results. So we try to really spend a lot of time with the client, hold their hand if we have to, but we're selling time here. So, time is money. And so, that's what we're right now battling with. We do the bi-weekly calls as a touch point with the client to make sure they're happy and just get a pulse on them and give them an update and all that. And then we let them they email us in between. Then we don't really cap out the amount of hours because we don't want to be so militant like that. But you're right. It is about time is money. And so that's what we're trying to do, like figure out how to set the expectations that you can reach out to us whenever you want. Just don't do it a lot. And we've had to have some we've had to have some conversations with clients where, oh, actually, you made me think of something new that we're doing. So now we're tracking time. We started doing that early this year, which is terrible for the team to have to track their time. But
Yeah.
then we know exactly how much time we're spending on each client. So we know
Right.
the ones that are not very profitable. And I've had to have some conversations with the clients that are just hammering us every day, like, to keep our price at where it is now, we just need to you know, scale back the amount of support that we're providing.
Right.
Um, and that was even before we had the time tracking. So now we have the time tracking. So now we can see which clients, and honestly, like the bigger clients, you should be spending more time on. So now we have more
Sure.
transparency into that, and that's going to help moving forward. We just started doing that a few months ago, so the data is still, coming in. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what I tell them is, even when they're local, it's like if we can do this remote, if we can do this like on a Zoom call like this, we can record it.
yeah,
And you can pull more people in, even remote people. And honestly, I have more assets, right? I got so much stuff on my computer that I can pull in for them, reports, PDFs, images, and things. And plus it saves just that drive time. I mean, even if they're 15 minutes away, I mean, there and
yeah,
back it's 30. And the reality is, I might look really good from the waist up, but I'm wearing shorts, right? I got to get dressed. I mean, so
yeah,
now it's really 20 minutes, but now I'm 40, 45 minutes, even for a 15-minute, cross town sort of person. So basically there goes an hour just
right,
to even meet for an hour. So it's, trying to balance that. But yeah, I've learned too, once they're comfortable, and I give them my cell phone. I'm like, look, man, if I'm not on something like right now, like an interview that I can't stop,
yeah,
boom, call me. We can chat real quick. And usually what I found is they don't need an hour meeting, right? They probably have one question that's stumping them,
mm.
right? Answer that one question. And okay, good. All right, I know what to do now, and just keep them going, but man, I hate meetings.
Well, so I'll add to that actually. So we try to stay local, and we try to do the client kickoff in person, okay, and then the biweekly calls we always do by phone. So we're setting an expectation there that the meetings are via phone, and then we try to do everything else via phone, unless the client says, we really want you here, and then depending on which client is, if it's a big enough client, we'll accommodate those situations, we'll accommodate those requests. But we always try to do the kickoff via meeting, and then everything else via phone, unless they request an in-person meeting. And then I try to take them out to lunch like every quarter at least, if not more frequently than that. And so we try to set the expectations that most of our stuff's going to be by phone. And then if they request a lot of in-person meetings, then we just take it from there. But from the get-go, we just try to set the expectations that, we're going to meet in person as a kickoff, but moving forward, most of our communication is going to be via phone or via Zoom like this. We've done that, and that's worked pretty well. And then we just take the request to meet in person as they come in. That's what we found to work.
I'm hearing a recurring theme from you of lunch and foosball. Do you do anything else, man?
I eat a lot of salads, though. I try to eat the salad so I don't gain a lot of weight because I go out to eat a lot.
Don't fill it up with like a gallon of ranch, man, because that kind of,
No,
it's counterproductive.
no, I don't. I try to like, if they're ordering like a big steak, I try to like, I don't want to make them feel bad by eating a salad. I don't know what you do in those situations, but I just try to read the room, I guess.
No, I eat what I want. I let them eat what they want. I don't give a crap.
I really, yeah.
I had a big client in Phoenix, and when I was still in sales for a tech company, and so he was local, and I'm traveling to him, right? And that's one thing I learned, especially when I'm traveling, you got to eat better.
Yeah.
Because you're out of your routine, right? You're not getting in the same workouts. You don't get the same sleep. And,
Right.
and man, when you get those meat sweats, right? Eating that big, heavy steak, late at night, a bunch of red wine, like, oh, you're just laying in bed. It's just miserable.
Yeah.
And so I hated that, but I love seafood, growing up in the South, and my wife does not love seafood. So we don't get a lot of seafood. So when I'm traveling, especially back then on the company's dime, right?
Right.
You're going to get salmon again? I'm like, yes, I'm getting salmon again because I freaking like it. All right. So just,
Yeah. Yeah. I stopped eating red meat about 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I still eat tons of chicken. Seafood is always a great choice. Salad,
Yeah.
uh, you know, yeah.
So, what do you see happening with marketing moving forward? It feels like Facebook might be kind of topping out. People are certainly tired of it. They admit it. You know, they've raised prices 30, 40%. They're going to raise them again,
Right.
intentionally cutting inventory. I'm hearing things, seeing things with Google Display Network's coming back. YouTube's a great place. But still, even direct mail. I mean, are things kind of coming full circle to a degree? Is there going to be a resurgence in direct mail because we're just so pummeled with digital, or
Yeah.
what are you seeing?
Yeah. So a few things there. I think there is a resurgence with direct mail. I mean, our direct mail business for us, at least the last few years, has been very good. Year over year, and so I think there's something to it. Like, the inbox is obviously less crowded than an inbox. The mailbox is less crowded than an inbox. You're maybe competing with, like, 5, 10 pieces of mail as opposed to hundreds of emails. Um, I think too. I think all the things that happens with Google, with all their thousands of updates, and Facebook and all the stuff they're going through. I think what we're seeing is you don't want to rely on one channel, and that kind of goes back to the before I was saying about the integration of, like, all the different channels. So you don't want to rely on one channel, because if all your business is coming from Google Organic and they do one of their updates and you know just destroy everything you've built up, then what? So you don't want to rely on one channel. So we always try to get clients on, yeah, definitely do SEO, but let's also run some paid advertising for your important keywords. Let's get you on Facebook and Instagram. It depends on the client, of course, what makes sense for them. But we try to integrate multiple channels. And even with the print, going back to what I said about, if you're going to do a postcard or whatever the mailing is, doesn't matter what it is, why not upload that list to Facebook and run ads to the same people in their feed? Yeah, everyone's so, you think about how much marketing messages we're exposed to every day, every hour. This is a lot of noise. Plus the fact that we're very distracted, we're on our phones constantly, and so it just takes more. It just takes more effort to get someone's attention. So that's why we're always preaching, multiple channels, multiple touch points over enough time with a good enough offer. Obviously, you're going to get results.
Right. How do you balance the people on your team? Like when you're engaging with a new prospect,
Mhm.
and like we're talking about, like you're relatively new to the digital side.
Yep.
How do you educate the prospect without inundating them, right? Overwhelming them. You could go to a 2-month seminar just on SEO alone and still only be beginning. Heaven forbid you get into PPC, you get into custom audiences. I mean, each one of these requires a master's degree and level type knowledge to get done. So how do you rein in your people, right? From divulging too much or overwhelming the prospect versus giving them just enough so they're comfortable taking your advice.
Yeah. So, and this will vary from client to client. We have some clients that that want to be hands off from the get go, and they just trust us, and they let us run with it. The bi-weekly calls help because I know they're going to be speaking to us every 2 weeks. So there's never like that black hole of like, hey, what are those guys doing for me? Because they know in 2 weeks they're going to be speaking to us again. They can ask us whatever questions they want. And some clients, we have some that are very hands on. They want to be educated about PPC. We try not to go too deep. It's not like we're offering professional training development for our clients where we're teaching them how to do SEO. But whatever questions they have, we'll answer to make them feel comfortable. Some have more than others, and we find that even the ones that are very hands-on, they don't want to be doing marketing. They want to be running their business. They just want to trust us that we know what we're doing. And
Right.
so we find that even the ones that are very hands-on in the beginning, they'll scale back after a while, after we've earned their trust. And
Right.
then the bi-weeklies are fine. And then they have a couple of questions here and there. They'll ask us. And then for our own team here, because everything's changing so much, we do professional training every month. Once or twice a month, we will, actually, I'll tell you what we do. It's a pretty cool thing that we've discovered this year. Have you ever heard of Clarity FM?
I think I have, but I don't know. It's been a while.
It's a service where we're not affiliated with them. I'm just ties into my story here. it's a service where you can find an expert in any topic. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be
Okay.
sales. It doesn't have to be marketing or even business related. It's a whole plethora of different experts on different topics, and they're basically selling their expertise on that service, and you pay per minute. So what we do is we
Oh, yeah, yeah.
tap into that for professional training. So like we did one last month on conversion rate optimization. So we had, the digital team here. We did like a screen share with this expert in Canada, and he taught us for about an hour and a half on just different things of conversion rate optimization. So we basically tap into that service to find experts that will teach us, even if it's things that we already know, we just want to reinforce. So that's how we do. We found that to be a fantastic resource for professional training.
So are you finding experts, or are you offering your service as well to be the expert?
In the case of Clarity FM,
Right.
we're using it. We're hiring experts to teach my team here on
Oh,
different
good.
things. So we use it as a way to train our team here because we always want them to be learning new things and to be brushing up on their skill sets. Of course, they're learning on their own time and like just learning new things. But we're proactive in terms of how we train the team here. So we'll use Clarity FM, Google Analytics, conversion rate optimization, Facebook advertising. It doesn't matter what it is. We just cycle through the topics. And I think
Right.
everyone appreciates it here because everyone wants to learn new things. They want to improve their skills. And then the clients benefit from it because the team becomes stronger month over month. And
Right.
that's how we approach it.
Do you do any kind of like client appreciation, like a dinner or Christmas dinner or anything, anniversary of the company and have a big picnic or things like that?
Um, so we do for the local ones. We're pretty good about taking them out to lunch or sometimes dinner. We have New York Nick tickets, so sometimes we'll give them out to the clients, or the team here uses them. Uh, when we turned 50, we had a big party here, and we did like a casino night. We had a bunch of clients come. So being that we mainly focus local, they hear from us a lot from lunches and for dinners. And then of course during the holidays we send them gift baskets and things like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, we try to be pretty good with that stuff.
What's the longest customer you've had?
On the print side, we've got some that go back over 30 years with us actually.
Wow.
A long time, 30 years.
Are they doing like the same thing, like sending out a calendar, in January, or is it like always like new content, new marketing campaigns that they're relying on you for?
It's generally the same thing for some of those really long-standing clients, like Smithsonian is one of them. Smithsonian Magazine. Um, we do the same printing for them for the last 30 plus years. So on the print side, it's very project based. They're not looking for us really for ideas. They just want to know that we're going to print and mail it for them
Right.
without making mistakes. They don't want to have to deal with the printing plans.
Right.
They don't want to have to deal with the mistakes that always come up. So it's less like on the digital side, we're measured every day on results and
Right.
what we're doing for them. On the print side, it's like, okay, here's a postcard or here's a mailer to print and mail. Don't mess it up. Just get it out in
Right.
time. It's a little bit of different work.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Because customer service will kind of inoculate you a bit from the cheaper alternatives, right? I mean, because they could go to Kindle or Amazon, whatever, and just upload stuff and just mass produce and print, right?
Right.
But there's no personal touch there. There's no point of contact. There's no throat to choke, right?
Right.
Has that been your experience? Why they stick with
Definitely.
you?
Yeah, it's all about. I mean, especially on the print side, the stuff that we do is very complex. It's generally not just a postcard. It's usually a package with like 6, 7 components in it, or it's just this package with crazy personalization, things that your average printer honestly just can't do.
Right.
And what we're finding is that so they're not really. I think personally, obviously I'm biased here, but I think we're posed for something exciting in the future because they're not really teaching direct mail in school anymore. It's all digital,
Right.
but direct mail is still an important part of marketing,
Sure.
at least right now. And so no one's teaching it. So we get new clients, especially some of these startups where they have like really brilliant marketers when it comes to digital, but they don't know anything about direct mail. So we basically become like a mentor for them, um, helping them with their campaigns, but also teaching them as well. And so I think we're posed for something interesting in the next 5, 10 years because they're just not really teaching direct mail in school anymore.
Right.
But we have that, so we have that expertise that they need.
Yeah, I mean, here it is Monday. We're doing this recording, and I don't know if you're like me, but it's like I open my email on Monday, and I'm looking at it with one eye, like, oh man, what's coming in? Right? Hopefully nothing crazy. But mail, it's like the doorbell rings, like I'll get it, because I'm waiting for a package.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How come people don't realize that it's the same in business?
Yeah. That's
You
true.
send a big package, like that thing's going to get opened with curiosity and excitement, and if you don't let them down, right? If you give them something decent, I mean, oh man, that's kind of cool.
Even
Why
like
is that such a
FedEx.
hard concept?
Well, even like FedEx envelopes, like sometimes when we're prospecting a client, and if we want something to absolutely get their attention, obviously this can get expensive, but we'll send out like an overnight FedEx envelope to them, and we've got a
Yeah.
pretty good rate. I think we pay like, I don't know, $8 or something like that to send out an overnight FedEx envelope package. So if we have a proposal that we know we want them to actually want them to definitely see, we'll send it in like a FedEx envelope overnight, track it that we know that way that we know they got it,
Yeah.
and yeah,
It doesn't even have to be FedEx, right? You can send just overnight mail or,
yeah,
24, 48 hour, 2-day mail, the postal service. And if it's
sure,
close, even though it's 48 hour, it gets there in a day and you can track it. So yeah, it doesn't have
true,
to be expensive.
true.
And it arrives, with a thump, with a thud in a good way. I think
Yeah.
people are just afraid of getting the message out. Well, man, let's help you get the message out. Where do we send people? What do you want our listeners to do?
I've got two things, Wes. First of all, definitely connect me on LinkedIn. It's Ryan Cote. Last name is spelled Cote on LinkedIn. And then I've got a special page set up for your audience with a special offer. If they go to ballantine.com/Wes, there's an offer there for a free video review where I'll personally go through their website, review it, give them advice on their SEO, on their overall digital marketing. I personally do their video review. Like 5-10 minute review via video, and that's absolutely free for your audience.
You're not going to laugh at mine if I sign up for that, will you?
I won't laugh.
You
I won't
promise?
laugh. Not out loud, at least.
It kind of hurts my feelings. Yeah, make sure your video's off and you're on mute real quick because
Yeah.
I can't have that happening. All right, man. We will link to your website. We will link to that offer. We will link to your LinkedIn. So I hope you get some more connections as well.
Awesome.
And well, man, I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks everyone for listening and watching.
All right, man. Have a great day.
You too.
Check your ego at the door. Amen. Direct mail is not dead. Amen. Hire for fit. Amen. I haven't mentioned them in a little while, but check out thesaleswhisper.com/recruit to help you find the right sales people. Good grief. If you get that wrong, nothing else matters. Get the right people on board, okay? We can help you do that. thesaleswhisper.com/recruit. Check it out. But yeah, I love his approach. No more spray and pray. Start with the big postcards. Like we said before, commit to multiple mailings. You can't do it just one time. Same thing with dating. If you just said hi to somebody one time and never say anything to them ever again, would they think you're interested? Of course not. We're busy. We're distracted. People are overwhelmed. We're over-communicated, over-connected. So commit to multiple mailings. Don't rely on one channel. One is the loneliest, scariest, riskiest number in business. You need to have multiple means of driving traffic, bringing in business, getting the word out. Amen. If you got a great one, stick with it, but try to replicate it, try to beat it through another medium. Okay, whoever can spend the most money acquiring a customer wins. That needs to be your focus. So get on it. All right. Thanks for listening to this. If you need help tying all this together, if you're tracking this on sticky notes and Excel spreadsheets and Google Docs and whiteboards and notepads stuffed under your car or in your glove box, give me a call. Let's talk this through. I can help you pick the right CRM and integrate it so you can automate, integrate, and dominate. If you're not sure which one, take my quiz, bestcrmforme.com. It's a free quiz. Once you take that, if you want to talk things through, you'll get a link to my calendar. We'll look at the results, see which one's best. Most of the tools I recommend have free trials. If they don't, I can get you a live in-person demo, detailed demo. Non-pressure. I usually talk people out of platforms or downsell them because they see something, right? You see some guru, some big company using some fancy tool, and you think you want the same thing. It's like trying to golf with Tiger Woods golf clubs. If you don't have Tiger Woods' body and knowledge and abilities and training, then using his clubs is going to hurt you more than it will help you. I want you to get the right software and keep it forever, because I get paid forever for as long as you keep it. If you cancel it, I don't make any money. Then you're mad. You're going to tell other people what a pushy, cheesy salesperson I am, and I'm going to lose more business. So it's in my best interest to help you pick the right tool, even if it's a low cost, even a free one. So at least you'll talk well of me. Okay, so take the quiz, bestcrmforme.com, and then let's talk. Okay? Thanks for listening. Now go sell something.